In 1848, a woman named Ellen Craft and her husband, William, pulled off what is widely considered the most daring escape in the history of the Underground Railroad. Living in slavery in Georgia, they knew they couldn't simply run. They were too far south and the patrols were too thick. So they devised a plan that relied on a brilliant understanding of 19th century social prejudice. Ellen was very fair-skinned. To escape, she decided to pass as a white man. She cut her hair short, wore dark trousers, and put on a top hat and tinted green spectacles. Since she was illiterate and couldn't sign her name at hotel registers, she wrapped her right hand in a bandage and a sling, pretending she was a disabled gentleman suffering from an injury. Her husband, William, acted as her loyal valet, traveling with his master. The 4-day nerve-wracker. They boarded a train from Georgia to Philadelphia, sitting in plain sight of slave catchers. The tension was unbearable. On the very first train, a family friend of Ellen's actual owner sat right next to her. He spoke to her, but Ellen, acting as the sickly Mr. Johnson, pretended to be hard of hearing and grunted responses until he gave up. In Charleston, a hotel clerk refused to let them stay because Mr. Johnson couldn't sign the ledger. Ellen leaned into her character, acting the part of an indignant, wealthy invalid until a sympathetic bystander shamed the clerk into signing for her. On a boat to Philadelphia, a passenger told Ellen she was too kind to her servant and warned her that African Americans are getting quite impudent these days. Ellen simply nodded and kept her hand in her sling. On Christmas Day, 1848, they crossed into the free state of Pennsylvania. As the train pulled into the station, Ellen finally took off the top hat and the bandages. They had traveled 1,000 miles in public, using the era's own racism and classism as their shield. The Crafts eventually moved to England to escape the Fugitive Slave Act, where they wrote their memoirs and became famous abolitionists.